This recording is for PLTW lesson activity 111, getting started with block-based programming digital doodle. So I've already gone over with the students on the designer overview, the user story, their initial backlog, which is like a to-do list. And we are going to come down here to number 3. They've already opened MIT App Inventor. And we're going to start here. Where did it go? Number 3. So number 3 says, drag the 3 components out of the user interface drawer. Here's the user interface drawer in MIT App Inventor. And I am using a split screen so that I have the instructions on one side and then my App Inventor on the other side. Drag the 3 components out of the user interface of your app from the following drawers. So user interface, we need a button. So this very first one right here in user interface, just drag and drop it right there. And then we're going to go to the drawing and animation drawer. Click that, and you have 3 choices: a ball, a canvas, and an image sprite. It says drag the canvas. So we're going to drag the canvas and put it right there. Don't worry that this is a small little block. We're going to fix that. Then we're going to go to our media drawer here. And the media drawer says drag the camera. So we're going to get the camera. And you're going to want to put it right on the canvas, even though the canvas is really tiny. And if you scroll down to the bottom on your designer view, you'll see that the camera says it's a non-visible component. And this is where it's going to show up. For a quick note, whenever you see something highlighted green here, the same thing on your screen should be highlighted green. So when I click canvas, see how that pops open green? Okay, button, same thing. Camera, since it's invisible, it's going to be down here. This is going to be boxed out and highlighted for you. So that's another check to make sure you're in the right place. So what we want to do now is we want to click on the very first one, button. And we're going to go over to properties. And you're going to see all these different options in here. The one we're going to worry about right now is text for button 1. Okay.
What is it?
It says text for button 1. Well, button 1 is going to be called take a picture. So you'll see the button, the description on the button changed on the screen, but it did not change here. You want to make sure this says take a picture also, but it won't accept the exclamation point. So you're going to click rename, and it says button 1.
Mine took it.
Oh, here? But did it take it here in the components? Okay. So click rename down here at the bottom. The old name is button 1, and you're going to change this to take underscore a underscore. The reason you have to put underscores in there is because you cannot have a space in the block. This is going to translate into the block when we start coding. Okay, so now we're going to go, let's click on canvas. We're going to scroll back this a little bit. And we're just going to leave that right there, but I want to do some things over here first. So you're going to click on canvas. Canvas is going to be highlighted. Come over here to height. Click on height and click fill parent. That's in the properties drawer, in the properties column. And then click OK. And you'll notice that the canvas just went all the way from the button to the bottom of the screen. You're going to do the same thing for width. and you're going to click Fill Parent. Now it takes up the whole screen. So we're done for 111 with our designer view. That's all we're doing are these three things on designer view. So now we want to go to our blocks view. We're going to start right here with blocks view. Click on blocks, and you'll notice there's nothing there. There's nothing there. If you look over here on screen 1, here's the items that we just dropped on our designer view. So number 6 says switch to blocks view. We have that. It says in the blocks panel on the left, right here, the blocks on the left, we're going to find these blocks right here, these 4. So the very first one is we want to go into our camera drawer. So to do that, we have to click camera, and we need to get camera.takeApicture. What this is saying is that when the camera is called, when camera 1 is called, we want it to take a picture. We're going to go to our canvas drawer right here, canvas, and we're going to get the set canvas 1 dot background image. You need to scroll through this, find that dark green one.
Wait, I just messed up. How do I delete this?
Oh, you drag that and feed it to Oscar the Grouch, the trash can. Yeah. So grab that and stick it in Oscar the Grouch. Oh, you've got them all. You got them all highlighted. Go to Canvas. And if you get this very first one that doesn't have a puzzle piece in it at the end of it, a block attached to it, and grab this. See that this says background color? Well, we want it to say background image. So just click this drop down and find the one that says background image.
Do I pick any one of these?
As long as it says set canvas 1 dot whatever, the dark green.
And then do what?
Then do the drop down. Make sure it says background image. So there's this little arrow, this drop down arrow. Got it? Okay. Background image. Now you notice this has an X in the front of it. It's because 2 things. It's missing a control block, and it's also missing the final extension piece here. Okay. So we're going to go to the camera drawer again. We're going to go back to the camera drawer, and we need to find this block right here, this control block. And this control block says when camera 1 dot after the picture, we have a variable that says image do. We want it to do something. So let's go back to the camera. And fortunately, that's our only option right now. And we're going to pop that there. Just leave it right there for a minute. And these control blocks are either called controls or handlers. Okay? It's an event handler or it's a control. It's the same thing. So now we're going to go to the button drawer, which is right here, our take a picture. Okay? I want to do something right here to remind me. And you can do this in your own, in your PLTW. Make a note the same way I just made a note there. So button, we're going to go to our button, and we're going to find the take a picture, clicked, do. So this one right here.
Where do you get that from?
Right here and take a picture. So you get that right here and take a picture in the button. So click that, and it should be the very first one. So when take a picture is clicked, we want it to do something. So make sure you have those 4 blocks before we go anywhere. What does it say?
Say camera 1.
Okay, then, okay, here? No, this one should say camera 1. So when camera 1 is selected after the picture, we want it to do something. And then this one, you need to get this from your button drawer.
I did.
You did? Okay, let's take a look. Okay. It talks about our event handlers. Please read this. You need to know what event handlers do. So now we need to construct an event handler for our button 1, which happens to be take a picture. event. So what should happen when you click? So when you click a button when you're on your cell phone and you click the button that says take a picture on your cell phone, what does it do? Takes a picture. So you're going to drag the call camera one, take a picture into that control block. So the next thing we have to do is number 9. It says camera one's after the picture event. So after camera one is selected, after the picture, what do we want it to do? So when you take a picture with your cell phone and what comes up? That image, that picture image you just took. Yeah. So we want to set it, that right there. And you'll still notice we still have a warning sign that something's missing. That end block down here is what's missing. Hover over image. This is a variable. Which one of those two fits in that end? The first one. It says get an image. There we go. So when camera one, let's move this around and put them in order. So this is the order. So the very first thing, when you turn on the camera on your cell phone or your iPad or an Android pad, anything, when you tell it and you hit the button, so when the take a picture click, when you hit that, and then it comes up, and so you're telling the camera you want to take a picture. That's what you just programmed right here. This is in the absolute simple basic form of a camera on a cell phone. This is what it's doing right here. When you touch the button, you're telling it you want to take a picture. So it opens the camera. When the camera takes the picture, after the picture, you want that image to show up on your screen. Correct? There you go. You just programmed taking a picture on a mobile device. Was that hard? No, it wasn't hard, was it? Okay. So the next things we need to do is we need to check it. And to check those, you're going to always, 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 you're going to click projects. You're going to click save. Make sure you save it. And then you're going to go, you need to have on your cell phone the AI companion. So once you had, you go to like whether you have Android or you have iPhone, go to the Play Store and download MIT App Inventor Companion. Okay, I think it's called AI2 on both stores. And then when you open that, you're going to scan this QR code. There's an option that says type in the number or type in the letters or scan the code. And then your app should come up and then you can test it, make sure it works. Yep. And if it works, hunky dory keen, you just programmed a picture app. Yep. That's it. That's 111, honey.
Is it?
That is it, Miss Davis. That is 111. Yep. Iterations and version controls. Make sure you read this. Procedures and arguments. Make sure you're reading that so that you know what it is. So this is part 1 right here. The next part is that's your debugging. So iteration and version control. So after testing and debugging, you have a functioning app. As long as it works, you have a functioning app. So you're going to save your program again. So you can go here, go to projects. You just click save project. Okay. All right. If you make any changes, you can go to projects and you can do save as. And then that's where you would get rid of this copy and just do version 2, version 3, version 4. So you can keep track of it and know what it is that you're saving. And then in MIT App Inventor, it will show up here in your description. Okay. So the next thing we need to do, though, for number 14, let's go back over to blocks. And we need to do all of this. So we go back into, I like moving all this stuff up and keeping it in order. So we're going to go back into when the canvas one is dragged. So we need to go to the canvas drawer, canvas, and we need to find the when canvas one is dragged. That means when you drag something across the canvas, like your finger or a stylus, okay? We want it to do something. We want it to call the image that we just took, okay? So call the camera dot the canvas draw line. So because we want to be able to draw on that picture, okay? So we go to call. We go back to canvas. We look for the one that says draw line. Call canvas one draw line, and we put that inside of there. This is where I'm going to deviate from the lesson because I understand why they're doing it. They're having you code, get your X, get your Y first so that you can understand what it is. And yes, if you click on, there should be a question mark on some of them. There's not always on some of them, but if you hover over this, oop, and click help, do a right click and click help, it'll take you to help and it'll tell you what, it'll tell you right here, dragged. So it'll tell you what that option is. So the help in MIT App Inventor is very, very, very good. Okay. If you just hover over it, it doesn't have question marks anymore, then without clicking anything, it'll tell you what that thing is also, okay, that you're hovering over. So we need to have our X1, our Y1, our X2, and our Y2, and these are super simple. You just go to, and we're using our previous X's and Y's, get X, previous Y, get, oop, that went to current. I don't want current. I grabbed the wrong one. Previous Y, and then current X. And I want to show you a trick. So as long as this block right here is highlighted yellow, you can do a right click if you're on a desktop, click duplicate. And again, this has a drop down in it. So you click that drop down and you just change that to current Y. The next step would be to take a picture and test it and see if you can draw a line on it. Always click these little Easter eggs right here because they help you like learn more procedures. Always click those little Easter eggs and read them. And this is why I've given you a notebook also for this class so you can take notes. So now we want to talk about clearing the screen. So that is going to be version 3, clearing the screen. So we're going to hit projects and save, and then go to projects, save project as, click at the end, get rid of that copy, take that V2 to a V3.
Load project.
Mm-hmm.
Save project.
Save. Mm-hmm.
Save project as.
Uh-huh. And erase copy and the 2 and make it a V3. Make it a 3.
And that's it.
Mm-hmm. So then you should have a project that says your last name, first initial, class period, and then 111 V3.
Some projects happen after I pressed OK. It went back to the phone.
Oh, it'll always do that. It'll always go back to the designer screen after you save it. Then you just click blocks. You just click blocks in the top right
Okay.
and go to blocks. Yeah. My wife said you were beating her. So what we're going to work on now is clear the screen. Did you ever have a game that the Etch a Sketch game? Did you ever see one of those where you draw on it, you turn the little knobs and you draw, and then you shake it and it erases everything? Well, this is a Etch a Sketch. This is a rake.
That's what we're gonna make.
Yeah, yeah. So you can draw on the picture and then you shake it, and it makes all your drawings go away. Okay. So to use the accelerator in the app, you have to go to the designer view. So we're going to go to the designer view, click designer. I'll minimize that. And we have to find the accelerator app in the designer view. We have to go to the palette sensor. So let's go to we're in the palette. Let's go to the sensor drawer. And there's sensors right there. The very first one, accelerometer sensor. Just drag, drop that right here on the canvas. And again, it's not going to show up here. It's one of those invisible things. So it's a non-visible component. Okay. We really don't have to change anything on this one because it is an invisible component. Nothing's going to be seen. So we don't have to change anything in its properties drawer. So now we go back to the blocks view. And in the blocks view, we're going to find our accelerometer sensor. It's right here. And we're going to click that. And we're going to find the one that says when, and it's the very first one. Okay, I mean the second one, sorry. So we're going to find the one and drag out the accelerometer sensor dot shaking event handler. Again, they're called event handlers or controls. So accelerometer dot shaking, drop that down. And then in the blocks view again, under canvas, we're going to go to canvas 1. And we're going to find and drag out the one called canvas1.clear procedure. So it's not going to be one of these. It's going to be a procedure. We're not calling anything. We need to find the one that says, well, actually, it is a call. So select the canvas 1 drawer, find the one that says canvas.1 clear. So let's see. This right here, canvas.1 clear. And we're going to drag that out. So that was B. In C, the blocks view, canvas 1, find the drag canvas. And we just did that one. Come on now. That goes there. So what you just did is you just programmed a function, a control function, that after you take the picture and you draw on it, that when you shake it, all those marks are going to go away. Yep. All right. So we're going to go ahead and include add color to the version 3. So in version 3, in add color, it says we want to add a color button. So we want to go back to the designer view. And we want to go to the palette column and go to the user interface drawer. And we want to grab a button. And we're going to put it right here next to take a picture. Let's put it underneath take a picture. There we go. Take a picture. And remember, it says text for button 1. So we need to change the name of this button, what it does. And remember, everything that's in components shows up on the block side. So we want to change the name of that from button 1 to change color.
Underscore color.
Yep. And then you're going to do the same thing on The other side, make sure that this button is selected. And appearance, you're going to come down. You're going to change the text from text for button 1. You're going to change that to change color. There you go. Let's see. So we're in the designer view. We did that. We got our component and we went to properties. We changed, we can change the text color. So that's the background color. We don't want to do that. We want to come over here and change the text color and pick a color. So it doesn't make a difference. Let's say green. You can do blue. You can do cyan. You can do any color you want. Okay. And if you look, now the button itself, the letters are green. All right. Background color, let's change that to match. Oh no, look what happened. You can't see green on green. That's the background color for the button.
I just make mine black.
Yeah. Make it black so you can see what it is. Okay. So, and this color that you chose right here is going to be a clue to the person drawing on the canvas what color they can change the color to draw. Okay. So let's see. We did all that. Now we have to go back to the blocks view. So C in the blocks view. So let's go back over here. Let's go back up. Blocks view. So we're in the blocks view. Let's drag everybody up there. So in the blocks view, we're going to click the button that you want to be red. Well, in our case, it's green, blue, whatever. They did an example of red. Find the when button dot click. So we have to go to our color button, change color, click. When color. Oh, that's not it. Where do we get it? Oh, I didn't scroll all the way up. Look at that. When change color dot click, do, because we want it to do something. So that's C right here. So when the color button is clicked, and we want to click on the canvas drawer to find the set canvas.paint color block. So canvas.paint color block. So do we need a set? What do we need? So click on the canvas drawer to find the set canvas.paint color block. So we're going to get that and we're going to put it there. Oh, it's not going to go because it's the wrong kind. So let's click that and let's change it from background to paint color right here. Now it'll fit.
Yeah,
You got to scroll down a little bit. I think it's towards the bottom. Did you find it?
mm-hmm.
Canvas 1, paint color? Okay. Back here at the end, it tells you over here, so you want to click the colors. Now we're going to go up into the built-in blocks. We're going to find the one that says colors. And you're going to pick the color that you want it to be. So I decided mine would be green. And I'm going to put that there. So now you test your app. So you're going to take a picture. First you're going to save. Then you're going to connect after you have your AI companion on your cell phone or your tablet at home and click AI companion. They're usually louder than that over there. So the app will say MIT App Inventor 2.
So you gotta do that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you want to see that your work is working, right? Okay. So I just scanned it. I just scanned mine.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell it's downloading there, and then I'm waiting for it to come up on my phone. Okay. So now here's the app on my phone.
Oh.
Okay. Let me pause this. Pausing the recording.
Orientation.
hmm Yeah, so you're going to click screen if after the example I just showed you
Where you find that at?
in person. So you're going to go to designer view and you're going to click screen one. And then over here on the other side on properties, you're going to scroll down until it says screen orientation.
I see.
Yeah. Now it automatically says unspecified. So if you switch it to portrait, then your picture will be elongated.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, your picture will be elongated. And then you can test your app and make sure. This is also where you can change the name of your app if you need to without having to save it and deleting it and changing it over. Let's see. You can, so I could, if I wanted to, put a tutorial email link in here on how to do this for screen one. And I can put the URL in here. So as an instructor, okay. Most everything else you just leave alone. All right. If you had an icon, you could change an icon, but we'll get into all this later because we'll also do this in the next class, in the next lesson, which you do have videos for, okay, already. So this video that I'm making will help you get through this one if you want to do a refresher. Okay. All right.
So there's videos for all the other versions?
Yes, for 112. Uh-huh. For the second app. I made videos for each one of those because we were on distance learning at that time. Yeah, because everybody got sent home for 3 days. Yeah. So we were on distance learning for that time. And I made a video of every class because it was just easier. And I know what it's like trying to pay attention while you're on a screen, learning long distance. So let's see. That's it. So make sure you hit projects and make sure you hit save project. And then when your MIT App Inventor on your cell phone, you'll get that notice that says disconnected. Okay. So it's saved, tells you what time and date. And then to submit it, you're going to go to projects and you're going to do export selected project, which means the one that you're looking at. Okay. And you're going to click that and it's going to drop it. So I'm on a desktop. It put it in my downloads up here. On a Chromebook, yeah, on a Chromebook, it'll put it down here at the bottom. So then you would open the class assignment. And this is going to look a little funny because the dummy class that I have set up to show how to submit won't, it just looks a little different. So you'll get, and then you're going to go to classwork. And then you will submit the proper assignment. View instructions. And where it says add or create, open that. And you want to do a file. Add a file. If you're on a desktop, you can just open that downloads and you can just grab that and drop it in there. And I think you can on a Chromebook too, can't you? Just grab and drop. So there we go. There's the assignment that we just worked on together. And then you would click turn in. So never try to open these because these are .aia files. And this dot is an extension. It tells you what kind of computer file that is. So a .aia file, think about it, App Inventor application. An App Inventor app, AIA, App Inventor app. .exe is an executable file, something that you open and download to your computer. .png is a picture image file. And there you go. That's how you submit it. That's how you play around. If you want to add more buttons to change colors, you can. Here's a challenge. Here's an app extension challenge if you want to challenge yourself. Okay. And that's where you would add, so take my picture and then in this example, they just did R for a red button, G for a green button, B for a blue button, pink for a P button. Okay, for a pink button. Okay, so okay, I'm going to stop this recording and I'm going to forward it to you. I'm going to share it with all the class also so they can get some hints on how to do this.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Miss Davis.